We're kicking off season 2 of your favorite end of the week party. Soul Care Live is coming to you with a new look, a new name, and a whole new attitude. Subscribe while you're here and share, share, share. Tell a friend that Soul Care for Single Black Women is live.
Soul Care for Single Black Women. Soul Care, Soul Care, Soul Care for Single Black Women. Soul Care Life.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Soul Care Live. I am your host, Tracy Reddy, dating consultant for single Black women, helping them heal their relationship trauma so that they can reach their relationship goals. And everything we do is toward that end. So today, we're talking about, as you see in the title, you know why you clicked. You know why you clicked because we're talking about Ciara's prayer. We're talking about Ciara's prayer. I'm gonna open this water, honey, because a little parched, a little dehydrated. Listen, we had our little self a little time last evening on the at the in this household. We went to had to do a little time at the emergency room. Got a little dehydrated. My husband did, and yeah, we had to go sit there for a while. And as they working on him, I'm like, I probably need to up my water too. So here's to drinking alkaline, electrolyte infused water. Listen, if you need to get you some um, electrolytes in your system, but without the sugar, this essential water. Yeah, essential has electrolytes in it, and it's alkaline, but also you can get all that in there without getting that extra sugar in there. hmm So you find that you need that, girl, go get that. Okay, so it seems that Ciara's prayer has been trending here this past week because artist by the name of Summer Walker, baby, I don't even know who that is, honey. I don't even know. But this artist by the name of Summer Walker is, I guess she put on her um, video or new song or video something, honey, something that some version of Ciara's prayer. And I haven't seen it, but I've seen several people comment about it. Child, it's a whole bunch of wide variety of comments out there about it. Oh, what's that? There's a wide variety of comments out there about it. But when I heard some or saw some of what the people were saying, I was like, I know from experience that Ciara didn't have an actual prayer for Russell. Now, here's how I know. That's because last year I did a kind of study because everybody was like, oh, Ciara's prayer, ooh, because as Russell was doing all these amazing things for her and just being this covering for her and her child and all these types of things. I'm like, I need to see what it is that this whole Ciara's prayer thing, because everybody now is saying, they want Ciara's prayer. So I just did a deep dive, and y'all, when I say I probably watched 20 good interviews, videos, um, articles where people were in fact asking Ciara, okay, what did you pray? You got to tell us. You got to tell single ladies what you pray. And she was like, well, there wasn't any specific prayer. It's just that. And she said like different little variations of things like throughout the entire thing. So I was like, okay, let me just kind of gather together what it is that she was saying and put that all out here. So let me let y'all see what it is that I discovered when I researched Ciara's prayer. Okay, so I'm gonna play this video. I'm gonna add this to the screen, and y'all can see what it is that Ciara um, more so did than prayed. I posted this on my Instagram February 29th, 2020. So before it was trending and before it was all this, I was trying to serve y'all then, but y'all, y'all got to wait till somebody like the Summer Walk and all them come along and blow it up. But the reality is, even if, because I think it's Ciara's voice on the video, on her song or something, I don't know. But the reality is, if you really dig back, there was no real exact prayer. Um, According to her own, you can watch some of the interviews on YouTube yourself. According to her own testimony, there wasn't a real prayer, but this is what I gathered from what she did say. So check this out. All right. Now, as you can see, I posted this February 29th, 2020. And it said, I've watched several old videos, several old and recent interviews of Ciara and gathered this. Finally, the prayer that she prayed and some, more so the and some, is not exactly what you think. Okay? So here it goes. You just have to read it. It's not any audio with it. This is quotes from what she actually said. Let y'all read it first, and then I'm going to read it. Oh, it does have some music to it. I don't know if y'all can hear that. All right, so we're gonna go back to this. Let me take it down. This is just my YouTube channel. All right, so we're gonna go over what she said. And take the music off because I don't know if y'all can hear it anyway. Okay, first things first, I started to get myself centered. I committed to the idea of loving myself and getting in the right place so that I could receive the love I deserve and be clear enough to love the way I'm supposed to love. I prayed for wisdom to learn from what I'd gone through. Then, in a moment of reflection, I had to really look in the mirror and figure out what I'm doing that's consistent. I need to break that. When you're in a cycle and you keep hitting the same roadblocks, you have to do something different and got to be ready to grow. Ciara. She prayed one prayer that she'll have wisdom. That she'll have wisdom. That was the prayer. Wisdom. She prayed for wisdom. Now, mind you, what her and Summer Walker got going on is she got this whole elaborate, thing, whatever. I ain't saying she didn't pray that at some point. But these are direct quotes from her. I went through and I got me a little binder and started watching all the videos. And every time she mentioned something about what she prayed, what she did in her preparation phase to receive Russell, these are the things that she said. And there never was a exact prayer except I prayed for wisdom. I prayed for wisdom. I'm trying to get back to that part where she actually said that I prayed for wisdom. Let me turn it off and go back to it. Making sure I got the whole thing, honey. I want to make sure I got the whole thing. Hold on. Just a minute. Okay. I prayed for wisdom to learn from what I've gone through. I wish I could rewind that Instagram. But she said, I prayed for wisdom. I'm going to close it one more time, put it back up on the screen for y'all. I prayed for wisdom for what I had gone through. Ain't that something? I'm getting it pulled up, and I'm also child multitasking, honey. Trying to send this little old message. Okay, there you go. There you go. Right there. Let me put that up there. Let me put that up. I prayed for wisdom to learn from what I had gone through. Ma'am, don't get hoodwinked or bamboozled. There is, that's the prayer. 1 second, y'all. All right, somebody was at the door. Okay. But y'all, don't get bamboozled. Don't be thinking you're going to pray some elaborate prayer and get what she got, because that ain't even what she did. That ain't even what she did. She said, I prayed for wisdom to learn from what I went through. Hold on a second. Okay. She said, I prayed for wisdom for what I had gone through. And I keep saying it over and over again because I really want y'all to grasp the fact that that's the prayer. That's the prayer. Okay? That's how you're going to make it work. Because you're going to have to dig into some areas that you need to dig into to get what Ciara had. So I came up with a list of 3 things. Not don't even plan to be before you long, praise the Lord. But I came up with a list of 3 things that you need to know, to do, to practice, to be conscious of in order to get what Ciara got. Now, again, remember, don't forget, she had no elaborate prayer. And for those of you just joining, welcome. I thank you for coming in, joining the broadcast. You can very much so say your comments in the comment section, and I'll be more than happy to post it here, shout you out, and just acknowledge you for being here. So I really appreciate it. So we're talking about Ciara's prayer. We're talking about Ciara's prayer, and I was telling y'all that the thing that I that this is trending this week, right? But I actually did a study on this. What is Ciara's prayer last February? And I posted what I found from looking at multiple interviews and things from her. Hi, Yolanda. I posted what I found from looking at multiple interviews um, and videos from her around, the time that she was promoting her album, and everybody was like, "What's the prayer? What's the prayer?" You know. And here's what I discovered. So I'm gonna play this for y'all again since people are just now getting here. I'm gonna go ahead and play this again and let y'all see what it is, what the actual prayers. These are actual quotes from Ciara, okay? To what she prayed to quote unquote get Russell. So here we go. As you can see here, here it comes. Now, I posted this on February 29th, 2020. She said, first things first, I started to get myself centered. I committed to the idea of loving myself and getting in the right place so that I could receive the love I deserve and be clear enough to love the way I'm supposed to love. I prayed for wisdom to learn from what I had gone through. Then, in a moment of reflection, I had to really look in the mirror and figure out what I'm doing that's consistent. I need to break that. When you're in a cycle that keep hitting the same roadblock, you figure out you have to do something different. I can't keep doing the same cycle. You have to be ready to grow, Ciara. Now, I shared that because it's yeah, it had come back up. Yolanda said she was wondering why it had been trending lately. It's because artist, the R&B artist, rapper, I'm not sure, I don't know, Summer Walker released this video or something, and it had Ciara's prayer, and allegedly, I guess it's Ciara saying some prayer. But the reality is, folks, if you go back and you watch this, which I done got on here, didn't show it a couple times, the only prayer Ciara prayed was for wisdom. Now, this is direct quotes from stuff that I went and researched before all of this came up. And the only prayer she prayed, I'm pulling it back up now for to show it to y'all again. Look at him. It says, I pray for wisdom to learn from the things I've gone through. That's the only thing that was ever actually prayed. So if you thinking you just gonna quote some elaborate, you know, stuff that whatever, because I haven't heard what's on the CD or album or whatever, but the reality is, and I didn't, y'all know me, I didn't put in the work. I wouldn't put in the work and looked at probably no less than maybe 20 videos, interviews, and everybody was like, oh, Ciara, you got to tell us the prayer. This is what, and I pulled quotes because I was like, what's the prayer? Like, did she actually say a prayer? And I discovered there was no actual prayer except that. And that was, I prayed for wisdom. But these are things that I pulled from all the interviews that she kept saying to everybody that she did to prepare for Russell. Hey, Shanika, how you doing, honey? So yeah, so that's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. So I came up with 3 takeaways that you need to know. First one being that there is no hocus pocus magic potion to get what she got. Okay, that's number one. But that's actually a bonus, honey. Let me tell you the other stuff. So the real tea is this. From what we just read here on this thing where I pulled direct quotes, the first thing that I see that she did, well, this ain't the first thing, but among the first things that I see that she did was she chose accountability. You know how they be saying, sis woke up and chose violence. She woke up in her life and chose accountability. Mm-hmm. She acknowledged her contribution to what she had been experiencing. Amen, lights. That's some preachers used to say that. But she acknowledged her contribution to what she had been experiencing. Yes, Future is an interesting character. And he's her ex is who I'm talking about. It's not somebody that I would recommend for anybody. From the things that I see that he does, and he's got his own flaws, and I don't know who else she dated, but she could have easily said he's just a horrible person. He just didn't have the character. And all that. As a matter of fact, she really talked terrible about him in the interviews or anything like that. She really didn't. Now I know she probably didn't just like be like in love with him, and of course, but she didn't talk too terribly about him. But she could have easily, because he puts out enough mess that she could easily say he just was a horrible person. But she's like, no, 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 no. I had to see about my cycles, what I do consistently. I had to break that. I had to break that. So while y'all just trying to sit up here and pray and be like, Lord, just send him. You, girl, first things first, you're going to have to choose accountability. You got to choose that. You got to say, what am I doing this keeps creating this? And if you do a deep enough dive, you will kind of uncover some things. You will uncover some things. And some of the stuff that folks do, it's just self-sabotage. It's dating with the wrong motive, just trying to cure loneliness rather than actually create a partnership. It could be it's dating to try to win somebody over, a whole bunch of stuff. But you have to get to the core of why dating is dating. Okay. And when you start to do that and you start to peel back all the layers of what you've been doing, you'll find you ain't been dating. Girl, you just been running from insecurity to insecurity. Child. Trying to get this man to fill the void that somebody else left. Whether that's an ex or a father or a mother, or auntie, somebody. That's what a lot of people been doing. That's what a lot of people, and I ain't even just saying women, men be doing this too. But we so care for single black women. So, but yeah, that's what a lot of people do, And so that's the first thing. That's the first thing. Ciara chose accountability. And she said, you know what? I got to see what I'm doing. Yeah, I done dated some guys who are trash. But what did I do? What about me allowed trash at my front door. There's number one. Number one tip. Okay. Number two, she believed that better was possible. Listen, y'all know I talk to a lot of single ladies. Y'all know I'm in a lot of groups and everything where I'm like just absorbing information and learning about what the single black woman experience is. Some of that through direct contact, some of it's through kind of sitting back and watching. And the one thing that is going to kill a lot of folks' effort to have healthy or happy relationships is the fact they don't believe it's possible. I see it all the time. I see it all the time. I, I'm just gonna be by myself. Knowing they want to be with somebody, I'm just gonna be by myself. You know what? I'd rather be by myself. I'd rather be by myself than with somebody that's than whatever the phrase. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And I'm not saying that they should be struggling. I ain't talking about choosing struggle. That ain't what I'm saying. I'm saying this attitude, this disposition that it ain't possible. From what I can see, we look bleak out here, y'all. So I'm just gonna kind of back away from it. Baby, listen, that is having the hope that better is available and that it's available to you. Because some of y'all be like, yeah, it's available because I know my cousin on my mom's side, she got a good man. But can you accept that it's available to you? One of the things I try to ask every woman I interview to potentially be in my program is, do you believe it's possible? And some of them like, huh, yeah. And that's all I need is just 1 year. I just need a year. It don't have to be a glaring like, oh, absolutely. Just I stand on the side of that very thin line of yes, I believe it's possible for me. Versus, girl, I don't know, honey. Can't work with that because we just spinning wheels at that point. We doing the cycles. What she said over here? She said, let me show y'all what I'm looking at. Hold on. Going back to these quotes that came directly from Ciara that I went through and found in all her video. And she said, in a moment of reflection, I had to really look in the mirror and figure out what I'm doing that's consistent. I need to break that. And for some of y'all, what you consistently doing is saying it's not possible. And you're not realizing, and yes, that may be what you're seeing. You may be seeing relationships breaking around you. You may be seeing you may even be experiencing dating that hasn't been the best, but you got to stay in the attitude of, but it is possible. Because the moment you lose that, you gonna get your cats. You can go on down there to the animal shelter and go and get the cats. Because because it's really no, you know. Now it's different if you're like, okay, if like maybe God has told you, listen, you just gonna be single, baby, and that's what it is, then okay, that's fine. Okay, that's different. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about y'all who know that you're a wife, who knows that you want partnership, who knows that, and it's coming from a healthy place, not just because you don't, oh, I just don't want to be old and by myself, but it's really coming from a healthy place. For those of you who know that that's your reality and that you are meant to be a wife and that you are meant to be partnered up with somebody, and you the main one saying, I don't know if it's pop, then you mess, you girl, mm-hmm, you messing up your own self. That's your cycle. You got to deal with the psychology behind it. Yes, there's dating. Yes, there's healing, but then there's a certain psychology that comes with standing prepared to receive and give that love, to be able to recognize somebody who ain't like that, or to be able to experience somebody who you ain't gonna be with, but you can at least sit there before them and have that interaction, have that conversation, have a little relationship. They don't all of them don't be lasting. Even after you heal, don't mean you gonna that healing doesn't prevent the disappointments. Okay, it just gives you better tools to snap back quicker. And so after you got to be able to extract from all of those experiences, all those things that you observe, and still come to the table and say, you know what, but it's possible. So for some of us, that's the cycle that we have to break. Our mind, that's where the battle is. That's where the battle starts. And then you could start talking about, oh, can I heal? What can I do then? If I believe it's possible, now what? Because if you believe it's not possible and you have that limiting belief, then you're gonna your everything you do gonna lean towards that, and you're gonna be running into these little not possible guys and saying and only just reaffirming the thing that you truly believe, which is it's not possible. So you're gonna keep attracting guys that prove that it really ain't possible. But the moment you start changing your mind and then going back to step number one, taking that accountability and seeing what can I do different, things will start to change. Things will start to change. Okay, number three. And again, everybody, we are going over, actually, this is number one. This is the number one thing. Um, we are going over three things you need to do to quote unquote make Ciara's prayer work for you. The bonus that wasn't even in the list is that you got to acknowledge this. Girl, Ciara didn't just have no long, elaborate prayer. Ciara asked the Lord for wisdom. And I know this because I studied it, her videos and interviews, and tried to figure out what was this prayer. A year ago, I did this. And I was not, what we in 2021? A year? So almost 2 years ago, actually, I went back and looked at all her stuff. And I saw that, girl, Ciara ain't pray no prayer. Now, what her and Summer Walker got elaborating and collaborating going on right now, whatever. That's why it's trending this week. But the reality is, Ciara ain't praying no long, elaborate prayer. Thank you, hon. She said, say that. And she said, you preaching better than you know. Thank you, sugar. But yeah, so Ciara, that's the first thing to note is that there was no long, elaborate prayer. I pulled together some quotes from her interviews. That's what you see me posting here. And one of the things, the only time she said in these interviews that she prayed anything was, I prayed for wisdom to learn from what I've gone through. And flesh and blood did not reveal that to her. That was the Lord speaking through that prophet, Ciara. Ciara saying, because that's really the only prayer right there. Lord, bless me to be able to learn from the stuff I done went through and go. And so then we jump into our list of things. Number three thing is choose accountability. Take accountability to breaking your own cycles. The number two thing is believe that it's possible. Stop coming against your own mind, against your own self, by believing that true love, the real thing ain't possible for you. Because baby, if you go there, you done stop the whole process. Okay. And the number one thing that we see here that she did, and that's kind of like an overall of this whole thing, is y'all, she didn't just pray, she did the work. She did the work. Y'all gonna get tired of me telling y'all to do the work. But baby, it is she went through the process. I was just talking to somebody this week about something. I can't remember what it was. Oh, one of my friends reached out to me and she asked me, "What's your thoughts on like hypnosis?" And I was like, "Well, since you asked, here's one thing about me. What I've come to be. I didn't always be this way. I don't parade around what I do as far as me and the Lord relationship. Okay. If it's something that I feel a personal conviction about, now if it's in the Bible, now I'm a Christian, just in case you know. I follow Jesus, okay? And therefore the Bible is my final authority. And so there are things that are in the Bible that I'm just like, here, bam, here it is. Here it is, bam, bam, there you go. But then there are some things that are maybe not in the Bible, or I'm not aware of being in the Bible, that I just, per my own personal conviction, like, not gonna be my thing, okay? But I don't go parading around that stuff. I don't go talking about it. Oh, y'all gonna go to hell. That's not my way. That's not what I do. And so, but this friend she asked me this, and this hypnosis thing is one of those things. I'm like, I wouldn't do it. I don't feel personally that it's spiritually conducive for me to do something like that. And but I never would share that, and I guess I'm sharing it with y'all. I never would share that outwardly because I don't know if that's in the Bible or not, but that's just my thing. And I think that's why a lot of people get angry at church folks, because some stuff God just said to you, baby. Let's just tell the truth. Some stuff the Lord put on your spirit for you, and you want to bring everybody else in because you can't do it. You don't want nobody else do it either. So there's that part. But she asked, and so I shared it with her. And one of the conversations that came up from that dialogue, one of the topics that came up, is the way that we try to short circuit the process. She was asking because a friend of hers had gone through some traumatic stuff, and was considering hypnosis and had asked her opinion about it. And so she came and asked me about it. And and um and she was just saying, man, if it was if it's gonna help this person, heal and be better and blah blah blah. And we got into a conversation about how we try to circumvent the process. Like we don't want to go through the process. And who would? I mean, sometimes the process can be difficult. Oftentimes the process is difficult, especially when it's a buildup of stuff, kind of like with dating and relationships. It's a buildup of stuff that you like it has gone unattended, and now it's like, whoo, it's a lot to go through. But we don't like going through the process, and I feel like hypnosis is one of those things where you're trying to kind of go around the process and just, Lord, you know, produce the healing. And that's not to say that God can't do stuff in an instant. It's not saying that God can't do stuff in the truth, but process. She said truth. She said, but the process is necessary. Right. It's not that God can't do things in an instant. Okay, but there's stuff that he know that he wants you to know, and you ain't gonna know it without the process. Okay, and so I feel like sometimes we shortchange ourselves and trying to skip the process. I think that's honestly, I ain't gonna hold you. I think that's why a lot of folks right now are dabbling into witchcraft and all kind of things because they trying to short circuit the process. Now, there's other reasons about that. Okay, we can talk about that in another video and another platform because that ain't really what we do here. But the point is, I think people are wanting to speed things up and just kind of go around and get the result without doing the process. But it's so much valuable stuff in the process. So much is in the process that you won't pick up if God just said, bam, there you go. Girl, you gonna meet that man and be scared to death. I ain't even joking. He gonna intimidate you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because you think, oh, well, if he's meant for me, then we should just come together and this is gonna click. In a perfect world, yeah. But in reality, eh, the reality is that's not always the case. The reality is that um you're gonna come together, he gonna be so good to you that you're gonna first of all not trust it. You're not gonna trust it. That's first of all, because I'm saying because I know. And then second of all, you're going to start doing things to sabotage this what could be something great because you haven't, number one, done the work. Remember, we talking about the three things you need to do to make Ciara's prayer work for you. And the number one thing is do the work. So if you don't do the work, you're gonna bring all this garbage and baggage into this relationship, stuff that's just gonna pop up that you may have thought ain't was fixed, was healed. But when you get into that intimate relationship, it pops up and you like, whoa. And you do everything you can to destroy it. Yeah. Yeah. Do everything you can to destroy it. Not intentionally, but you're utilizing the things you've picked up over the years to protect yourself. And it's not typically always healthy coping strategies. So, when you start to distrust the guy in the past, you kind of you ignored the red flags, and so and then he ended up hurting you. Then you go, the right guy come along, you starting to trust him. You're gonna do the same thing you did with Leroy when he came along, and you start distrusting because you're like, I ain't gonna let that happen to me again. Or I'm gonna be trusting somebody all willy nilly, and they gonna. And then next thing you know, you done ran off the good somebody. And I ain't gonna say run off because you can't keep a man. Man gotta want to be there. But what I'm saying is you're going to do enough to damage the relationship and to where you sabotage it, and then even the right person you know won't feel right, and you'll go with that because the last time you ignored that feeling, it got you in trouble. But when you do the work, when you unpack all that stuff, when you acknowledge all that stuff, when you bring it to the forefront, it's no longer hiding in the darkness and just kind of tucked away in the corner. Girl, you know how we be doing with our bags and stuff, child. When we was in the process of trying to clear out our apartment in Dallas, honey, we had all kind of stuff in the little coat closet as soon as you come in, baby. Listen, this almost like what Christmas dollar stuff we were finding. Mm-hmm. Like it was criminal. And that's what we do with our with our baggage, our emotional baggage, our experiential baggage. We tuck it away. And we don't even realize it still have it. Oh, I forgot I had you. I remember pulling out a shirt like, oh, I forgot this existed because nothing has stirred it up before. So do the work so that you can go ahead and get that stuff out. You can go ahead and get it out. So yeah, all that being said, the main takeaway I want you to know is Ciara didn't have no prayer. Now she might have created one for the Summer Walker album, and that's why it's trending this week. But Ciara did not have no long, elaborate. Okay, God, I want this. I want not from the. Y'all need to go on YouTube, type in Ciara interviews, probably back I think anywhere before she met Russell, and I think they met, if I'm not mistaken, in 2016 or something. And I was pulling up maybe 17, I don't know, but I was pulling up interviews, from when she was leading up to meeting him. And no, I'm lying. I was pulling up videos from after she had met him, and everybody was, just like, "Oh, Ciara, what did you pray? Oh my gosh!" And you could tell why she talking when they're like, "What did you pray?" She was like, "I can't say that it was an actual prayer. It was just you could tell on her face that it's like it wasn't that." Like she did pray something. Like I said earlier, she prayed for wisdom to learn from what she gone through. And that's all I'm saying to y'all too. Take note of that. Don't get caught up in all this Summer Walker hype. Okay. You ain't gonna be able to hocus pocus no man, no good man. You're gonna have to go through this little old process, and come out on the other end with the tools you need to recognize a good somebody, or at least somebody who you can willing to try, try it out with, and then to be able to walk it out and give and receive that love, that communication, that everything. So, but that's what I say. Go watch some of them old Ciara videos, and you will see exactly what I'm saying. There was no prayer. There was no long, elaborate prayer. It is what it is. Don't be deceived, honey. Don't be deceived. That baby work is what she did. She put in some work. I'm gonna let y'all read this one more time before we go. Let me add this back to the stream. Let me go out, come back in. We're gonna read it together. One, two, ready, and go. Okay, here you go. First things first, I started to get myself centered. I committed to the idea of loving myself and getting in the right place so that I could receive the love I deserve and be clear enough to love the way I'm supposed to love. I prayed for wisdom to learn from what I'd gone through. Then, in a moment of reflection, I had to really look in the mirror and figure out what I'm doing that's consistent. I need to break that. When you're in a cycle and you keep hitting the same roadblocks, you figure out you have to do something different. I'm not trying to keep running in circles. This can she said you have to be ready to grow. It goes so fast, and I can't even read that fast. Sugar, I don't even read that fast. And then in the end of that video, oh shoot, we're gonna have to play it again. But at the end of that video, I said, don't just pray what Ciara prayed. Do what Ciara did. Do what Ciara did. She didn't. Again, for those of you just tuning in, because I see the numbers going back and forth, I'm pointing out the fact that Ciara didn't have, despite what you're hearing on this recent Summer Walker album, Ciara didn't have no long elaborate prayer. She had one prayer, and that's that she learned from the wisdom, to get the wisdom to learn from what she gone through. She said, this can only happen if you're ready to grow. You have to be ready to grow. Child, what happened in growth? What happened in growth? Work. Doing something. You don't just grow in no way. Grow, it entails change. It involves changing. It involves something happening, not just, Lord, just bring it. After you pray, baby, you gotta do something. That was Ciara did. Now she got a man up here buying her what he buying her what they call it, her originals for her album. So now she own all her work. Most artists don't own their stuff. It's owned by the record company. She owned her stuff because he gave it to her for a Christmas present. Girl, you tell me you want all that? You better do what she did. Don't just pray what she prayed. Listen, I ain't gonna keep saying. I know I'm driving it home, being repetitive, but I'm just want to put it out there. Y'all got any thoughts, comments, questions? Put them over there. Be sure to share this video because I really wanted to get out so people don't be out here thinking that what they're hearing on this album is what got her Russell. You know what I'm saying? And then even if you do all this work, you still got to be open to hearing what the Lord said about you or your situation. Okay? Okay? So that being said, y'all share this. Y'all share this because folks need to know that. They need to know this. That the prayer that's out there now is not really what she prayed. At least not from the videos and things I saw. Um, you know, before all this stuff went viral. So all that said, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Share this video. Also, if you have not subscribed to the Soul Care for Single Black Women YouTube page, you're on it right now. You're on it right now. Click that subscribe button. Turn on those notifications. This is the only place where Soul Care Live will be shown. I did show it last week on the Facebook channel, but that was because I know some people didn't know we switched to YouTube, and so I knew they would probably be there. So I just wanted to kind of give them the heads up. Hey, go over there like YouTube. But this is where we're gonna be at, and I thank you all for tuning in. So until next week, when we're gonna talk about something else fantastic, y'all stay up. Y'all be sweet to each other. Love on yourself. Love on the people you love. And I will talk to y'all next week. Bye bye.